how to make a Shopify website. So in this video, I'll be guiding you through a checklist on how to properly make a Shopify website. All right, let's start. So one of the first things we're going to do is account setup. So if you don't have an account already, don't worry, you can use the link below to create a free Shopify account. So once you do, you'll be guided to a page something like this, and you'll have some questions that you can answer. You can honestly just skip this part just to get straight to the admin. So we're just gonna skip it. And now this is gonna be your new home once you start using Shopify a lot. This is called the Shopify admin, which is your main dashboard, and this is where you'll be able to add products, control your orders, review customers, do discounts, run content, check your finance, and just check anything in regard to your online store. Here is where you control everything when it comes to your Shopify store. So once you create the account, right, you're gonna want to review your Shopify admin dashboard, right? So one of the best ways that I have learned a lot about Shopify, of course, not only just by working at Shopify, right, but also by just playing around with the product, right? So get familiar with the product, right? You could watch a few of my other videos where I walk through detail about the Shopify admin dashboard, right? And just, so that you're familiar with how to use Shopify on your own as well. All right, so once you've had the chance to get familiar with the Shopify admin dashboard, right, the next thing on our checklist is that you'll want to set up your store, right? So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to online store. And then once you select online store, you'll be welcome to the themes page, right? So here is where you'll be able to customize how your store will look like to your future customers. So you have a few options. You can use either the default themes that Shopify provides you, right? For example, you can use Horizon, or you can use other free themes that Shopify provides you for free. Or you can visit the Shopify theme store, where you'll be able to check out free themes, right? Again, most of these are provided by Shopify. So if you want to use these themes, then you can go ahead and use them. But let's say you want to maybe choose something else, right? You could go click on the paid section and see what type of maybe paid themes that you really like using. Now, there is something that you should know about free, either using Shopify themes or using third-party themes. And one of the big things is that I will write down here is Shopify themes, right? Not only are free, right? But if you have questions, if you have any trouble shooting questions, you can reach out to Shopify support, right, directly, right? Now, let's say you download a third-party theme, right? Third-party theme, right? Any troubleshooting questions, you'll have to reach out to the developer of that theme, right? Really important right here. When I used to work at Shopify as a support advisor, where I helped literally thousands of store owners with their Shopify store, this was a common issue where if there was something wrong with the theme, right, the store wasn't working properly, right, they would come to us first, right, which was okay. But whenever it was a theme issue, right, and we confirmed it was a theme issue, then we would have them reach out to the theme developer, which you could do very easily, right, inside your Shopify theme, right? If you go on edit theme, you'll have three buttons right here, and you can click right here and reach out to the theme developer from there, right? And they'll be able to guide you. So that's one of the benefits of using a Shopify theme, right, is that you'll be able to connect with a Shopify support advisor quickly, and if you use a third party, then you'll have to reach out to the third party developer. So now that let's say we found a theme that we want to use. So for this video, we're going to use the ritual theme right here, right? Let's close this tab. So once you install your new theme, right, it will show up under this draft theme section. So inside this draft theme section, right, here is where you'll find every single theme that you have installed, right? So right now the primary theme on my store, right, is still Horizon, right? You can even see it says current theme, right? But of course, once this is done installing, right, I'll have the option to publish it. And once you publish it, right, that means that this ritual theme will be the replacement of Horizon, right? But if you don't publish it, this will still be a draft theme. So that means you can make any customization to this theme and it will not affect the main store. So that's something to remember. And I remember helping merchants, right? And they will be worried that, you know, if they make edits, it will affect the main store. You have nothing to worry about. The ritual, your draft themes, right, will stay here. Let me just see if this will refresh because it's taking forever to load. There we go. Okay, so now let's say we found this is the theme that we want to use for our store, right? You can make any changes to your theme by clicking edit theme, and then you'll be welcome to the theme editor. I know it could look a little bit scary for the first time, right? Trust me, I was scared a little bit the first time, but it's actually really easy to use. So you could go ahead and just like click things here, and you'll have options to customize text, right? Text size, color schemas, right? You can play around with it. You know, there you go, right? You could just play around. The best way to learn about, you know, the theme editor and what type of changes you can make is by honestly just playing around with it, right? So you could click on here, right, and customize the font, the heading, right? You could customize the text, right? You can either ask for changes as well. So I highly recommend you just play around with it. You can add sections as well from here. If you need to add more sections, like, let me see, one of my favorite ones was always the, you can use a divider, right? Let's see. Let's just use a divider for now for this video, right? And there it is, right? But let's say you want to make some more changes, right? You could actually have Sidekick, right, make those changes for you, right? You could just click here and ask for changes, right? But first, there we go. Can you change the number from 5 to 4, let's say, right? And what we'll do now is already doing this. Now it's going to make its changes, right? So this, it should make it to 4. Okay, so it did not make the change easy, but let's pretend it did, right? You'll be able to, you know, quickly just, I'm not going to make the change right now, right? So this, oh, this is the logo, that's why. But let's say here you want to make text, right? Then you could change it, right? So like, and you just had at the end, right? So let's click. And it should add the number 5. There you go. See? Yeah, I just forgot that the logo, you can't make any changes really that much to the logo, right? But here you'll be able to have, you know, Sidekick design your stores, right? You could tell it to, like, let me see what else I could do here. You can have it generate something if you want, right, as well. But of course, again, the best way to learn about this is just by playing around with it, right? So let's say you've made the changes to your online store now, right? You made every change that you want, right? Now you're happy with the design of your online store. The next thing in our list, right, is to add products, right? So let's go ahead and go to products on the left side here. And from here, you'll be able to add a product by just clicking either add product if you want to add a single product, or import if you have a ton of products that you need to import into Shopify. So you could just click add product, right? And for this one, we're just going to use select existing, upload file, and I should have a t-shirt right here. click done. Right, we'll just call it basic T, right? And then I'm going to have the AI write a description for me. Right, pretty simple, right? The next thing you're gonna want to make sure is make sure the status is active. If it's not active, it will not show up on the Shopify store. And then you want to make sure the publish is, you want to make sure that's online store, right? And then you could cancel which platforms you don't want your t-shirt to be included in, right? We're gonna click done. And then if you had a tag, if you need to track certain products, then you could create a tag by just writing and then add tag, and a tag will be attached to this product, right? Now since I am selling, right, then you could just add a price, a t-shirt, and then if you want, you could continue selling without when out of stock. I recommend you keep this one off, right? Only keep it on if you want to and you know you're going to receive products quickly to ship quickly. But yeah, honestly, you should just keep this off so that you don't, over promise something that you might not be able to deliver to a customer. And then here you want to set up your shipping properly for this product, right? So you want to make sure and set the proper packaging and weight. Why this matters is because once a customer checks out, right, let's say you have the wrong box and you enter the wrong weight, right, the shipping cost might be a little bit too much, right, if it's the wrong weight and package size. So instead of something maybe costing maybe $10 or $5, right, for this t-shirt for shipping, it might cost $30 to the customer, and the customer might not pay for that, right, if the shipping is more than the product itself. So because I had an issue where a Shopify store owner, they had a hat that they were shipping, and at the checkout the shipping was like $40, right? And the issue was because they had the wrong product weight and wrong package set up. And then once you complete all this, right, if you have variants, right, so like if I was selling size here, right, different sizes, right, I would include medium, and done, right? So just something to keep in mind as well when you're adding your product. And then you want to make sure you edit your search engine listing, which is really important. But this is something you could do after you launch the store and you start to have time to fix tiny things like your SEO, which is not that important at the start of your Shopify journey. So now you've added a product, but let's say you don't have a product to add to Shopify store yet, right? Because maybe you just don't. So what you can do is actually use this free tool that I'll have a link in the description below, where you can find drop shipping products to sell, right? If you don't have a product to sell of your own, right, you can use something like AliExpress, right? And you can use this tool called DSERs, right? I think it stands for drop shippers, right? And it's just a really free tool, right? I've used it in the past, right? I've promoted this product to Shopify store owners, and it's just a really great tool if you don't have anything to sell yet. All right, so now that we added a product and you have a product to sell, right, you're gonna want to create collections. So this is great if you're selling a ton of products, right? So we go to collections here. You can set up collections, right? You can set up a t-shirt collection, right? T-shirt. This will just make it really easy for you to add, certain products to a certain collection, right? Maybe you want to add bestsellers, right? You want to add, and then so that you can add all the products that are bestsellers, and customers can quickly see what other people are buying from your store as well. So it's just a really great way just to, create these unique collections to generate more sales for your online store. So the next thing we're going to want to do is add pages to your Shopify store. So to do this, you want to click on online store, and we're going to want to add important pages that you might want to have in your Shopify store. So one is pages, and then from here you want to select add page, and some of the pages you want to have is like about us, right? And then you want to make it visible, right? If it's not visible, you will not be able to, customers will not be able to see it in your store, right? So about us, right? Save. You want to be able to add, add another page. You want to be able to add like frequently asked questions, right? So really important to have frequently asked questions, because sometimes there's repeated questions that customers might have. Instead of you having to manually reply to all of these customers, you could just have frequently asked questions, and the customer can quickly see the answer to those questions that they might have. And again, we want to make it visible, right? And just make sure you click save. So super easy to do. Now, one of the next things you want to do, of course, is add them to your store navigation. So you could quickly select here, or you could quickly just go to content and go to menu, and then menu, click main menu. So this will be on the top of your store. From here, you could quickly just click add menu here. I think it froze. Okay, no, it's working. Let's try one more time. There we go. Okay, so you could write about us, right? Let's say. And from here, you could quickly just go to pages, right? And just go about us, right? And then boom, you added it. And that's how you add a page to your main menu. And then just make sure you click save to it, so it saves, and you'll be able to go ahead to your theme editor and you'll be able to see it right there. So now that we've added pages, right, you want to set up important business settings inside your Shopify store. So to do this, we're going to go to settings on the bottom left. And on the bottom left, you'll be able to see all your settings for your store, right? This is where you'll be able to make all the changes you need when it comes to your Shopify store as well. So one of the first things you want to do is set up payments. So like this is how you'll be able to start to receive payments from customers who buy things from your store. So if you have Shopify payments, you want to make sure and go ahead and set that up right now. You could also set up other options like PayPal. This just gives the customer more options to pay. Maybe they don't have a credit card, but they do have PayPal account. So you'll be able to get payments from PayPal instead. So, but one important thing is that if you do use tools like PayPal, right, third party, and there's an issue with third party providers, then you'll actually have to reach out to their support team and not Shopify support. But for Shopify payments, you can always reach out to Shopify support, since this is their internal tool, and they'll be able to address any issues that you're having with Shopify payments. So once you've set up your Shopify payments or any payments tool, you want to go ahead and make sure you go to shipping next. In shipping, here is where you're going to want to set up, go to general profile, and you want to set up shipping properly. Add your rates, right, and everything that you need to include for your checkout. If you don't have this correctly set up, customers will not be able to check out when they're trying to check out. It will say either products out of stock, right, even though the product is technically in stock. And this was a common issue when I worked at Shopify. So you'll want to, of course, just make sure you have everything set up. So if you're shipping to the US, since I don't have the US market, you'll want to include it in the market page. You quickly click here. It will take you to the market page. From the market page, you'll be able to click create United States market, and just make sure you have everything set up properly so that you can start shipping. So once I click save, if I go back to settings, go back to shipping, general profile. So if a US customer now goes to my Shopify store, they go to checkout, they'll be able to check out successfully without any issues. The next thing you want to do, of course, if depending on your location, is your taxes and duties, right? For this, you'll want to reach out to your accountant or your tax advisor, right? Just to make sure you have everything set up properly so that you don't have any issues going forward. You do not want to reach out to Shopify support, because they will just let you know to reach out to your accountant or your tax advisor for any support when it comes to any questions for tax related issues, right? They'll help you with any questions with the features, right? But when it comes to taxes, you'll want to reach out to your tax advisor. The next thing you want to do is to make your store look a little bit professional and not have customers going to this long domain name. You want to click on domains and either connect an existing domain if you have one already that you bought for your Shopify store, or if you don't, you could quickly buy one inside of Shopify domain, right? But if you don't want to use Shopify, then you can also use a third-party tool like Hostinger, and I'll have the link in the description below so you could get a domain for your Shopify store. So once you've added your Shopify store domain, right, you can also customize this default domain for your store. But remember, this change can only be done once. If you change the name to something you don't like and you click save, you will not be able to make the changes anymore. Even if you reach out to Shopify support, they will not be able to assist with this. So the next thing you want to do after we complete any business settings, right, is you have already set it up, your account setup, right? You've reviewed the dashboard, we designed the store, we added a product, right? We created collections and pages for your store and set up important business settings for your store. So you're almost ready. But before you launch your store, you're gonna wanna download these few apps. So one of them is called Shopify Inbox. And this is just a free app that you can download for your Shopify store where customers, if they have any questions, right, they can quickly reach out, and you can set it up where, if you know common questions that customers might ask, you could create these quick answer bots, I guess you could call it. So if a customer has is shipping free, right, you can have already a pre-answer ready for it to send, so that you don't have to worry about manually responding to hundreds of your customers manually, right? You can use Shopify Inbox. The next tool app you want to download, of course, is called Shopify Forms. You want to start collecting either emails or phone numbers, right? And this will allow you to send emails, promotional emails to your customers to generate more sales for your store. The next app you want to download is called Shopify Messaging. This is a free tool where it will allow you to send emails to your customer and SMS as well. So this is very important. So for example, you want to start to send emails when a customer does not check out, right? You can send them an email 2 minutes later saying, hey, we noticed you have this product in checkout, but you haven't fully completed the purchase. Here's 10% off, something like that, right? Or you want to send weekly emails, letting them know special offers or new product releases. This will just make sure that you stay on top of mind for your customer. Number 4 is Shopify Flow. So this is a great automation tool. This is for abandoned checkouts, welcome flows, flows, for a lot of marketing flows that you want to have, right? This is a free tool that you'll want to use a lot for your Shopify store. And not least but not last, another tool you want to select is Shopify Spy. So if you find another Shopify store and you always wonder what theme they're using, what apps they're using, right, then you can use this free tool to go ahead and see what type of theme they're using or apps they're using in their store. I'll have the link to this tool in the description below, so you guys go check it out. So once you downloaded these important apps, right, you'll want to review your store, right? So, maybe ask a friend, right? Ask a family member to see if they can see, guide them through the store. Let them go to the store on their own and let them play around with it and see if they find any broken links, right? Or something like that, right? You don't want to have broken links at checkout, right? And then after that, once you're happy with it, the easy thing is to launch your store. So you can do this by just making sure you go to online store, right? Go to preferences, and then make sure you have a pick plan, right? And remove the password so that customers can start to buy things from your store. So once you've done that, right, the last thing you want to do is promote your store. This is either done organically or through paid ads, right? Each have their pros and cons. So organic, right, it's free. You just have to upload a ton of content every single day to start getting traction. Ads cost money, but you could probably get customers in the first 48 hours. So again, 2 pros and cons. And so that's how you make a Shopify website. And hopefully this video was very useful for you, and good luck on your Shopify journey, right? Now, don't forget that I do have a free email newsletter called the Ecom Edge. I'll have the link in the description below, so you guys can go check it out, where I send a weekly email to Shopify store owners like yourself on how to better generate sales for the Shopify store. So that's it for now, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.